Hello and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea, and today I would like to share with you more of the messages that I've received from the 25th dimension in my last hypnosis session. But before I move forward, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and do like this video and leave a comment below, because that not only helps me make more videos, but I also love to see where everybody's at and if the stuff resonates with you. So let's move forward. I'm going to be reading from a transcript of my session. And when I refer to Lorraine, I'm talking about the hypnotist who's asking me the questions I've prepared in advance. She does come up with her own questions sometimes, but she normally says so when that happens. And when I refer to myself, to me, then I'm talking about myself under hypnosis, which means the answers are coming from a 25th. All right, Lorraine. What happens to people during conditions like dementia, where the person gets lost in the past decades earlier and remembers it as if it's happening now? Me. Yes, it's the body. So yes, the essence may have left. It doesn't mean it's left forever. It might be gone for 5 years. It might be gone. It might come back once every 2 years. It hasn't left the body forever necessarily. But what happens is that the body is left in a loop where the body is not quite clear on what is happening. And sometimes these bodies get, because essences can leave and nothing happens to the body. The body's fine. It's just continuing its usual routine. I mean, we do this in short spurts of time every day. But say that your essence can leave your body for 5 years because it goes and does something else, has no interest, maybe comes back in 5 years, takes a quick look, then leaves again, and that's okay. Your body could still behave the same way. However, in these particular cases, the body is having trouble. This is actually a breakdown of the body. The body's having trouble, really. It keeps looping because it's having trouble with calibrating the absence of the essence. This just happens because some bodies none of us have the same ability to recalibrate as anybody else. This is why, for example, you experience sinuses or asthma, whereas, for example, Clea just has sinuses, or she might have, itchy eyes when she stares at us, when she connects with us, or doesn't want to see us. Everybody has different symptoms when the body's trying to recalibrate things. And this is interesting because I do have itchy eyes. My right eye specifically gets itchy all the time. And I always thought it was cat allergies. And now I find out it's because either I stare at the 25th or I don't want to look at the 25th. At least if I knew which one it was, it would probably be more helpful. Lorraine, interesting. Thank you very much. There are very high rates of spontaneous abortions happening from the bees, given to pregnant women. Why is this happening? Are souls not incarnating on Earth at the same rate as they were before because we're taking this down? Me. Yeah, because it's finished. They wouldn't even have a chance to be born. There's not even enough time for that. We're taking this down in the next few weeks, next few months. Yes, it's finished. So souls are not incarnating here at the same rate anymore. Lorraine, thank you. On which planets are the 3D holographic chambers located? On what dimension? Me. So there are planets that there are only a few planets that have created these chambers. I'm getting there are only 2 planets that have created these chambers, and they are both higher dimension. They're in the 9th dimension, and there might be one actually in the 5th dimension. And yeah, they're taking all these people, and that's it. That's all that's needed, because again, these holographic, these realities expand as much as you want to. So it's not a matter of space. It's just a matter of creating the chambers, which is just a matter of technology. Lorraine, how were these planets selected to host these chambers? Did they volunteer? Me. Yeah, they volunteered, yes. We also chose them because they did not fear. They were not as fearful as others. We just thought this was a good combination. Yes, they volunteered, and we also allowed them to choose. There were actually more planets than just these 2 that volunteered, but not that many more, but a few more volunteered. And we chose these 2 because it was sufficient. Lorraine, thank you. We're assuming that these chambers will be phased out as the 3D group of people from this older planet moves on, dies, and reincarnates in other parts of the matrix or goes back to the 25th. Does this mean that when humans have children in these chambers, no new essences will come into the baby's bodies? Otherwise, the cycle of rebirth in the chambers will continue? So what I was trying to figure out here is, again, these chambers are a temporary solution for those of us who from this planet want to move on and continue living. We're not ready to be reborn, and we want to, but we want to experience a 3D reality. We want to continue experiencing a 3D reality, just a much nicer version of it than what we've had here. So these 3D chambers have been set up, and if you watch any of my previous videos, we talk a lot. You know, 25th tells us a lot of stuff about the 3D chambers. But basically, the point is, how do we phase them out? I mean, at which point do we say enough is enough? And because this is not going to be another reality separated from the holographic reality of any planet, right? This is just like a chamber in that sense. And so here they're going to be explaining how that works, because otherwise it means that no new essences would come to these people in these chambers. Me, yes. So what will happen is that no, essences will come into these babies, not all of these bodies. There will be less essences coming in. But these essences that come in, they already know that this is not a true reality. Nothing is real, of course, within the matrix, but this is not a true reality. And therefore, they will either come in to improve their consciousness so they can move out of these chambers, or they will come in for short periods of time and then leave. And they might leave the body behind. There's not going to be an event, or what we would consider a negative event. So they will just come and hang out for a little while. Now, when the parents pass on at some point, when it's all these new souls, then this will just be stopped. So it will be with everybody's knowledge as well. By then, the essences will have moved on already. So it's a little bit like dissolving this planet here, where nobody's left on it anyway. So it's okay. They've thought of everything. I mean, this is just brilliant, this entire plan. I think that in the future, when all of us find out what has actually transpired behind the scenes, I think we will be astounded by the complexity of this plan. Lorraine, thank you for that. Okay, the group going to hang out with the aliens. Who's coming to pick them up? As in which civilization? Will they go live on alien planets, or will they live on ships traveling the universe or multiverse? Me, both. So there are several planets that have allowed humans, but nobody has wanted to take that many humans. Nobody's been able to take that many humans. So there have been several planets. I'm getting 10 or 15 different planets actually, or civilizations, are going to pick up these humans. And many of them, they will just keep them on ships because they don't even go home necessarily. That is their home. There are a lot of people from other civilizations that live on these ships. These ships are like planets in themselves in a way. They are huge on the inside. They're extremely comfortable. A lot of people live on these, but there are some others that are wanting to go see the actual planets, and they will be allowed to do that. And not only, but they might not even be the planets of the civilization. It might be planets that the civilization goes and visits. So it's a little bit like Star Trek. You have the opportunity to go and meet many different civilizations. Some humans will want to do that. Some other humans will just want to be dropped off on a planet and live with the locals, and it will be allowed. Now, when they do live on a planet with locals, they will have their own environment. One is because we're not even able to necessarily breathe some of these atmospheres or eat the food that they do. It will take time for these bodies to adapt to these new environments. But also because, again, the aliens don't quite know how we're going to react to the higher vibration that they have on these planets, because all these planets are higher dimension compared to us. Lorraine, thank you. Thank you for that. Can alien technology travel the entire multiverse, or is it only kept in certain areas? Me. Alien technology, depending on how advanced the particular planet's technology is, could travel most of the multiverse. There's no technology that can truly travel the entire multiverse. laughing. They were laughing here. The multiverses, and they were still laughing, huge by technology standards. But yeah, there are planets with very advanced technology. They can go to a lot of different places that we can't even conceive on this planet. But yeah, they can. I mean, there's technology that's quite astounding. Again, no technology can compete with a human. The essence's ability to do these things. Of course, we from our dimension, 7D dimension, 7D planet, New Earth, we'll be able to go everywhere we want to. We can project ourselves anywhere in the multiverse. There's really no technology that can match this. My boyfriend who watches Star Trek was telling me, he's rewatching it now, and was telling me about Q. Apparently this entity that could just do whatever it wants is what we would consider a god. And every time I reread this part, I think of Q, like he just, he has no limitations from what my boyfriend was telling me. So it's kind of cool. Lorraine, thank you. So you said that the other planets, in the case of those that are going to the alien experiences, are concerned about us. In CLEA'S words, consider us basket cases. Will the people going there be kept in isolation chambers for their comfort, as well as the fact, sorry, you guys needed to have a viewing of my kitty today. Okay. All right, let's oh, come on, baby. Let's continue. I think he gets excited about the aliens. I don't know. Maybe his friends are coming too. All right, so I'm going to read the question. So you said that the other planets, in the case of those that are going to the alien experience, are concerned about us. In CLEA'S words, consider us basket cases. Will the people going there be kept in isolation chambers for their comfort, as well as the fact that others on these planets or in these ships will be uncomfortable, uncertain about the frequencies? Me. Yeah, again, this is very common in the multiverse, and we would be familiar with this concept if we had been allowed to travel and be familiar with aliens on this planet. The fact that there are many aliens that will go to other planets and just live on their ship while they are staying on that planet for that reason. Excuse me. It's almost like you just bring your own things. It's almost like people going to a hotel room and they bring their own pillow from home because they know they're going to be comfortable and they cannot sleep unless they have their pillow. It's exactly the same concept. So yes, while they think that some of us are dangerous, they also know that we have a lot of good people, and that the people that are moving on are either on the side of the light or have chosen to go to a higher consciousness. So while they had to be careful, of course, it's not that clearly the people that have volunteered to help us, they do have faith in us too. They just want to make sure that we are comfortable. They, of course, have to be comfortable themselves. It's almost like when you go to somebody else's house, you also want the host to be comfortable. You certainly don't want to disrupt their entire life. At the same time, they want us to be comfortable. We have said before, the people going to these planets will be treated like revered guests. So it's almost like resorts will be made available for them. They're not isolation chambers, as in what we would think of when we say isolation. Isolation chamber sounds so stark and so limiting. It's not going to be limiting at all. In fact, if they see that a human becomes comfortable with the atmosphere, with the vibration, everything will be open to them, including the planet. These aliens are used to seeing other humanoids. They're not like us. They're not going to be scared by seeing us. So if we get to the point where we are comfortable going out, they will be happy to see us. They also are very, very curious about us. They want to hear our experience. In fact, a lot of our friends who are going to these planets, they're going to be teaching a lot of people. Lorraine, thank you. Will people going to this alien experience so will they be able to choose to have, or will they be expected to have certain memories, thoughts, ideas, and beliefs wiped from their memory, as in aggression, violence, or those kinds of thoughts? Me, you don't need to. So aggression, violence, these are not memories. These are responses to, or what we think, again, coding that we have that reminds us how to hold certain things together. And because we believe that this is what it took, this low vibrational energy, this is the form that it took for us to be here. But we don't need to have this wiped. The vibration will be different, and this will not be supported. What's happening right now what we are calling the rising frequency, what's really happening is that a lot of the ideas that have been introduced by the dark, like this violence, like the separation, like all these things that we consider negative, they're not being supported anymore. So even though it looks like, the media is trying to portray like there's all this violence going on in the world, the truth is that there is actually less violence at this time than there has ever been, because it's just not supported anymore. It's too heavy an energy to carry. It is too dense. It takes a lot of people, a lot of effort. This is not sustainable anymore here. A lot of the dark has left already, and therefore that's already a problem with sustaining some of these ideas. And also a lot of people on the other side are not willing to participate in the system anymore. What you're seeing on a very superficial level is that people are leaving jobs that don't feed them, don't nourish them anymore. Just at a soul level, all of this dark is breaking down. All these dark ideas that are so low vibrational require a lot of energy to sustain. And so it's all breaking down. So there will be no need to wipe any of this. It's just a progression. We've aligned ourselves with a higher vibration. When we get to these higher vibration areas, we will not want to do certain things anymore. We'll have no interest. Lorraine, that's wonderful. Thank you. Me. And of course, if there was a person who actually a person who actually wanted to do these things, that person would be in a very gracious manner, but that person would be isolated because they might need more time to adapt to the energies. So we'll all be handled. There's not going to be a cycle of punishment like we have on this planet. So I just thought this was wonderful information we received about this particular topic. The fact that this violence, while it was introduced by the dark as an idea, really, in a way, many of us adopted because we thought it was needed to maintain this low vibrational energy. Of course, this was a misunderstanding. We didn't have to do this. And we got this message loud and clear in the when I connected to source through the use of plant medicine. I made a video about this. It's called Message from God. You can look it up if you want to. It was a recent video. At any rate, I am so glad to hear this is no longer sustained even on this planet. And a lot of the stuff we hear on television, I don't watch television, but even then stuff percolates down. So I know, for example, there was a fake war going on somewhere. They've already told us this is not real. This stuff does not sustain anymore. So even though we haven't left this place yet and we're all sick and tired of it and we want to move on, the fact is things are already a lot better than what it looks like, again, from the news or the spreaders of the lies. So it's all good. It's all moving in a good direction. So let's hang in there a little bit longer. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.